Hello everyone, welcome to the debut episode of our Teacher Spotlight by STREF. STREF means the STEM Teachers Rewards and Empowerment Foundation, which is a registered NGO in Nigeria, and we are the organizers of the annual STEM Teachers Award and Gala. And I'll be your host today, and my name is Love Odion, and I am the founder and president of STREF. So today on set with me is our very first star winner of our Teachers Award. And she is going to be talking to us today, getting us to know more about her. I want you to just sit back and enjoy this beautiful episode. So, over to you, madam. So introduce yourself to us. So good to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. My name is Precious Emechebe. I, just like you said, the first winner of the STEM Teachers Award and Gala. So I am an early childhood educator. I run a center for children between the ages of 0 to 6 years old. And my focus basically is to train children and teach them how to develop cognitively, so that by the first six years of the child's life, the child is ready to enter the mainstream education.
Wow.
So yeah, basically
that's great. That's great. So in this part of the world, not many people really want to be teachers.
Right.
When you get to meet teachers and they get to talk to you, you find out they had other plans, and along the way they just found themselves in the profession. So is that your case? I'm hoping it's different anyway. So tell us your story. Why teaching?
Thank you so much. I get to answer this question a lot of times because the teaching profession, especially in the area where we are right now in the country, it's not so much attractive per se. And that's because people don't see the need for what they are doing. So the reason I teach is because I see children as limitless. People with limitless abilities.
Sure.
I mean, with a child, anything is possible.
Absolutely.
Yes, there is no limit to what you can achieve. And I'm a very adventurous person. So that's one of the things that led me to teach, because with a child, you can be adventurous, you can be anything you want to be. Especially because because my focus now is on early childhood, which is just 0 to 6 years old. So the reason I'm teaching is because it's an opportunity to create anything out of nothing. So that's really why I teach.
Children are the tabula rasa, right?
Right,
So nothing is written on them, just a plain tablet.
Exactly.
So whatever you put into them, that's what they become eventually.
It's more like garbage in,
garbage out.
Garbage out. But the good thing about the children is when you garbage in, what you get out is going to be so much more than what you put inside the child.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that make me to be a teacher.
Oh, that's great. That's interesting. So if you were not a teacher, initial plan. Let me use that word. What was your initial plan?
I think I wanted to be a nurse first.
Wow.
Growing up, I wanted to be a nurse because I hated injections.
So if you were going to be a nurse, what kind of nurse will you be? The one that doesn't give injections?
I don't know. I just wanted to be a nurse. And then after that, growing up, in my late teenage age, I wanted to be a medical doctor because it was also adventurous. Medicine was something that would require a lot of strength, a lot of mental capacity, and that's the reason why I just wanted to be a medical doctor and help people basically.
Okay.
Yes.
So now you're in the teaching field, and you're doing so amazing.
Thank you.
Really, you are.
Thank you.
So what will you have to say about education in Nigeria? There's this thing I always say, that teachers raise their kind. And sometimes you hear people talk about teachers, and some people don't really have some very wonderful things to say about them. And I believe that teachers are too vital, they are too important, they cannot be ignored in our society, and they need to be given the necessary attention and support they need.
Right.
So what do you think that can be done to, support our teachers, take our teaching profession from the level where it is to the next and the higher level?
Okay, thank you so much for that. I read something somewhere that said a country cannot rise above its educational sector.
Absolutely.
And the educational sector of a country cannot rise above its teachers, the quality of its teachers.
Sure.
So the quality of the teachers you bring has a direct impact on the educational sector, and the educational sector has a direct impact on the economic growth in the country. So for our country, for example, if our focus turns to teachers now, because the focus is not on teachers. I mean, nobody wants to be a teacher, right? Because it's not glamorous. I mean, we are not getting the same accolades like our peers in medicine, in other professional industries.
And guess what? It is because of the teachers that every other profession is possible.
Right, right. So one of the things we can do basically is to find out ways to improve this profession. And how can we do that? By training the teachers.
Sure.
I mean, when you look at countries that are doing so well in the educational sector, like Finland, for example, one of the most important things they did was to start up rigorous training sessions for teachers.
Wow.
Because you can't give what you don't have.
Absolutely. You
right?
can't. Yeah,
so if you have these people trained, first of all, understand why, now this is for the government, then as a teacher, you understand that what I'm doing, what am I doing exactly? What is the purpose?
Why are you in this profession?
Yes, when you understand the impacts of what you're doing, if you understand the importance and how important that your position is as a teacher, first and foremost, what it does is it gives you a different mindset entirely.
Sure.
So it gives you a different disposition towards work. As you're coming to school, you know you're coming to change the life of a child. And this child can be the president of the country tomorrow.
True.
This child can just be the minister for education.
Endless possibilities.
Exactly.
It can be anybody.
So you understand that the future of this nation is in the hands of these teachers.
True.
When you understand that as a teacher, it influences your decision and your, thinking pattern.
Let me just quickly say this, probably you're listening to us and you are a teacher, and probably you didn't even have this passion. You really didn't want to be a teacher. You're just a teacher because maybe there was nothing else for you to do, and so you had to look into the teaching profession. I want you to know that you are not there by chance. It's not a mistake that you are there. You are doing one of the most honorable things in the world, and that is to raise people, to transform lives. And I would like for you to look into what you're doing and give it your best. It might not exactly be all that right now, and that's part of what we do in STREF. We are all about dignifying the teaching profession. We are going further just from we're not just only about doing awards, organizing events. We are also about organizing trainings and granting supports to teachers. And I'm sure subsequently we're going to be talking more about our program. So let me get back to this beautiful lady that is sitting with me today. It's been so wonderful having you on set today, and taking a cue from all you have said. It's really important that our teachers are given attention, really. When you see teachers that are doing well, even in the state of the current, the current state of our education in Nigeria, it's commendable, because despite the anomalies or the issues, they still decided to stand out. And that's one of the reasons we are doing what we do in STREF. We looked at it and we said, at the end of every year, you have different awards, program and events, but there was really none for teachers. And we said we need to create a platform where our teachers can be recognized and honored for what they do. We also need to create a platform where we can give our teachers a voice, and that's what this platform, the Teachers Spotlight, is about. And it's a place where we spotlight our award-winning teachers who are making impact in their classroom, in the life of their students, in their societies, and teachers who have just distinguished themselves. And I know that there is so much for our teachers.
Right.
It's actually their time. It's actually their time, because people more and more are awakened to the need of education, not just education, but good quality education. And they really cannot be quality education without the input of our teachers, So that's one of the reasons we're doing what we do. But lastly, before we call it a day, I just want to ask you, why? Why are you passionate about this? Because, I always tell people, when you know the why,
yes,
your attitude will be different. I believe we hear about different stories about teachers. We have some reports of how teachers are performing and their attitude towards their work, and you begin to wonder, okay, how did they even come into the profession in the first place? So I needed to give a message to your colleagues, teachers out there that will be watching you today. What do you have to say to them?
Thank you very much. This is very important. I remember when I made up my mind to do this, one of the things I told myself was anything worth doing is worth doing very well.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And just like STREF is giving us a spotlight, as a teacher, create your own spotlight in your classroom. Be the spotlight in your school. Because your children, most of them learn, you don't learn passion, you become it in the process, right? So when the children see you, let them see a very passionate person. True. So as a teacher, just like you said, understand why you're doing what you're doing. The reason why you're there is to make the child better. Sure. And when the child becomes better, the environment becomes better, the family becomes better, and the society becomes better. Absolutely. So you're grooming a generation of young people. Yeah. So when you understand the gravity of what has been placed in your hands, this is the reason why I should do better, right? Yeah. So as a teacher, become the spotlight in your classroom, there to be different. There are better ways to, teach your children. There are better ways to do your lesson plans. There are better ways to, pass out your message to your children. Yeah. Let there be life in your classroom. Yeah. I mean, every child should remember that teacher in his 3rd grade, in his primary 1. I always remember my teacher, the teacher that taught me my JSS2.
Be that unforgettable teacher.
Yes, right? Because the man made a great impact in my life.
And
for good, right? And that's one of the reasons why I love mathematics today, because of what my teacher did. Oh, wow. So it's important you create that spotlight for yourself in your classroom. And secondly, as a teacher, look out for professional development opportunities. Sure. You don't know it all. Some of us will learn in the job, right? Yeah. So it's a responsibility to look out for trainings, look out for ways to make yourself better.
Don't just wait for your school, don't wait for your proprietor or your proprietors, or wait for the government. Just you on your own, you have to take a step further to get improved personally. And there to be different, because if you don't enlarge your office, right, nobody's going to do that for. As a teacher, I personally made up my mind to be the best for my children. To create that lasting impression in their hearts. When they wake up in the morning, they want to come to school because I am there to receive them, right? And then also I look out for ways to make myself better. So it's a responsibility. The internet is vast. There are so many things you can learn. There are so many free programs, free training resources online to make yourself better. You don't have to wait for the government. You don't have to wait for your proprietor. You don't have to wait for your principal. It's your responsibility to be that spotlight teacher. It's your responsibility to create that image in the life of that child that he or she is going to remember for the rest of their lives. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's been so wonderful having you on this episode.
Thank you,
and we wish you the very best even as you go along in your profession. And we know that you will keep impacting lives and you keep transforming the children that have been committed to you to teach. So thank you for joining us for today's episode of Teacher Spotlight with STREF. I'm sure you've had a wonderful time like we have. And if you are yet to follow us on our Instagram, I would love to ask you to follow us on Instagram. Just search for @stag_global, that is STAG_global, and you will be right on our page. Follow us, go through our content, leave a comment, and just support us. And if you would like to be a part of what we're doing, please send us an email at stagglobal1@gmail.com, or you could visit our website for more information. Just go to www.stref.com.ng. So till we come your way next time, keep supporting our teachers, keep encouraging our teachers, and together we will keep dignifying the teaching profession.